All right, hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to start by saying, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawa Shai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawa Shai, Brakti Hawa, Brakti Hawa Shai, Kahalamla Hawa, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Gakodash, and also the honor to the pastors, the elder bishops, and the elders, grandmasters who are well, and also shalom. Sincere, I came out there pushing truth in the name of Yahweh, Bashim Yahshai, Bashim Gakodash, and also shalom. Sincere Aquafate. And I'm just doing a quick lesson, and this is going into the death of Pope Francis. You know, I guess he died about, let me see, Australian time about 5 hours, 6 hours ago. So he passed away, and as we know, like when people pass away, we know they're not going, somewhere they've been in hell or forever, whatever Christians want to call it. And a lot of Christians, they come against this man here. We against him. We know who he is. He's a demon. Okay, he's the devil. Okay, he's he was working for those one of those three frogs you read in the book of Revelation chapter 16, which is the let me get that precept real quick, just to make sure I'm speaking to know what in the right precept. So Revelation chapter 16 and verse let's go to it right here. This is the book of Revelation chapter 16 verse 12. And the sixth angel poured out his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the earth might be prepared. So this is going into with that river over there in so-called Middle East. We seen videos where that river got dried up, and the reason why that river got dried up is because it's written. It's a prophecy, all right, and that's gonna eventually be dried up, and then the kings of the earth, which is going to the rulers of the earth, they're gonna do what? They're gonna prepare for that World War III, which you will see what's going on right now. You got Iran, Russia, okay, all those nations around about that area. They're all preparing their armies to go over there and fight for World War III. You got America's over there too. Okay, America, Turkey. Eventually all those nations, they're gonna be over there, and that's when the World War III is gonna pop off. China's gonna go over there as well. North Korea, okay. Even Australia, they're gonna send armies over there to go fight this, this Great War. When you go back into the history, you look World War I, World War II. You always find like and I'm gonna give an example like Australia. Australia's over there. In World War II, Australia was over there. And I believe World War Anzac Day. So we have a day called Anzac Day. When you look up the Anzac Day, I want to say that was damn, it's been a minute since I checked it out. But Anzac Day is based on, you know what? Let me just do this here, man, to be on point with it. Anzac Day. Anzac Day. Here we go. Okay, so it says Anzac Day marks the anniversary of the first campaign that led to major casualties for Australian and New Zealand forces during the First World War. So you see, so Australia was over there, and New Zealand, they were over there, fighting World War One. This happened over there in let's go here to the get to the history of it. I want to say that would be what is Middle Eastern World War One. So it says World War One or the First World War. It was in 1914 to 1918. Took place mainly in Europe and the Middle East, so-called Middle East. So that's where that war took place at. Guess what? Australia, New Zealand was over there. Okay. So eventually, World War III, you're gonna have so many nations that are gonna be involved in it. You're gonna have the African nations. Australia's gonna be over there. New Zealand's gonna be over there. All right, because the allies, which is America, UK, they're gonna be over there involved in that war. So anyway, so let's skip that and come back to the main lessons. This is the sixth angel poured his vial upon the great river Euphrates, and the water thereof was dried up, that the way of the kings of the east might be prepared. The kings of the east is talking about the nations over there in the so-called Middle East. Okay, even East European, they're gonna be out there preparing for that World War III. So now this God being taken out, which is the key point is verse 14 says, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, which that's the Roman Empire. But ancient time, but today this dragon is going into America, okay, and American is allies, okay, American in AU, all right, or the beast system, should I say. It says, and I saw three unclean spirits like the frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon, and out of the mouth of the beast, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. So these three unclean spirit represents the you have America in there, which is Washington D.C. Okay, that's where the army of this beast is at. Then you have England, which will be London. Those three major city, it will be Washington, London, but many naming the country and the city. So you have Washington D.C. and London, and the Vatican City. That's where the false prophet comes out of it. Okay, and the Pope being put to death, by Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, or taking him out, old age with disease. That's Yahweh Hashem Yahushua taking down that false prophet. Okay, a leader who represents the Vatican City being taken out, because whatever the Pope says, every religious under this system they follow. So now he's gone, and now they have to come out with the new one, which I pray to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This be this he be the one to leave, and nobody replaces him. But we don't know. Okay, like the scripture says, Yahweh Hashem, everything that happens right now, it's moving to Yahweh Hashem Shai's time. Let's get that precept real quick. Second Ezra chapter 4, right? Let's go to it. This is the book of Second Ezra chapter 4, verse 37. By measure have he measured the times, and by number have he numbered the times, and he doth no move nor stir them until he said measure be fulfilled. So everything gets fulfilled by the will of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and at what time he wants things to be filled on. So if somebody comes in and replace him, cool, we ain't complaining. But if nobody comes in, right, if this is it right here for the end of our Eastern system, we understand it, because you look the way America is going right now. It's collapsing, and then you look at the way Europe is. Europe is through. Like, yesterday, I went to my family's house. You know, my family want me. I mean, my mother and my father. All right. And I was speaking to you know, my father. He's my, black fly, but black father, but it is what it is. But so we were speaking about saying things, what's going on in the world, and he listened to news because he thinks he's gonna be able to go back to where we came from. Him and his friends or whatever people who's fighting against the government over there in our country that where I was born in Rwanda. They think they're gonna be able to go back over there, rebuild our lands, and take over. But it could be true. I don't know of it. You know, same people. They're gonna be giving their lands back. So I'm just talking to him, and then we talk about Europe, and he said he was talking crazy about France. I'm like, oh damn, he's onto it. France, all German. The only country that he said was doing okay over there in Europe was German. UK is through. He said that UK is down. Belgium down, right? All those nations over there in German, all those nations over there in Europe are through. Portugal, we'll be known about Portugal is through. Greece is through. The only countries over there in Europe that are doing away is Norway, Sweden, Switzerland. Those up north, nations are doing okay. But the rest of the other, European nations that was meant to be powerful, they're all crumbling. But, he mentioned Germany still is, the balance is still there. Which, we know according to the prophecy right now, when you go into the scripture, you go into the history of Europe, how these nations are doing. Yeah, Germany is doing okay because the economy is not down. You go worldwide. If you're driving a Mercedes Benz, BMW, you're driving a Lamborghini, you're driving Bugatti. Guess what? Yeah, that's German. You representing German and certain other cars. Because people be like, oh, Italian made Lamborghini, but no. Go deep into it and see where that car came from. All right, you look Bugatti. Oh, it's a French car, but go back and see. Volkswagen. Okay, Volkswagen is a German company, and they made those certain supercars, right? So Germany is doing all right. So anyway, come to the point of this man being dead. This right here, is a major thing, man. Okay, it says the whole world is mourning right now because of him. But guess what? I'm not gonna mourn for him. Yahweh Hashem took him out. This could be the end of a Easter system collapse because this man here was like a god to them. All right, to these Edomites, they look him as a god anyway. So him being taken out right now, all right, it might be a good sign for us. Lord willing, is a good sign. To where this is the end of a system. Okay, so he's out, he's gone, and and he was the head of not the head, but the puppet of the when you come back, the book of Revelation chapter 16 and verse 13, and I saw three unclean spirits like frogs come out of the mouth of the dragon and out of the mouth of the beast. Okay, the dragon itself represents the Roman Empire. But if you want to compare the dragon today or the Roman Empire today, it will be America. And out of the mouth of the beast represents NATO and EU. And out of the mouth of the false prophet, and that's who? That's the Catholic. Okay, that's over there in Italy. The whole the religious of the Catholic. But those three unclean spirits represented those three cities, which was London, Washington D.C., and the Vatican City. Okay, London represents that's the economy. Washington D.C. it's like it represents the army. All right, And then the Vatican City, that's, the philosophy which comes with, the religious. It's all from there. And verse 14, for they are the spirits of devils working miracles which go forth unto the kings of the earth and of the whole world, right? To gather them to the battle of the great day of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yasha, the power of Almighty. So we know Esau is in the midst of so right here you gotta go back into the elites, the bankers. They're the ones who who's putting money into this World War III, and they think somehow they're gonna manage World War III to go on, and they're gonna be able to watch it happen. World War III is gonna happen, and somehow they're gonna come out and win it. All right, have the these nations destroy one another, and these top bankers, they're gonna come out and be on top of it and reinstate a new world order, right? But guess what? That's not what's gonna happen, because in the midst of these nations or these elite doing this proposing this World War III to happen, one thing is that they don't realize is that when you go to the book of let's go to the book of um, Job chapter this is the book of Job chapter 12 and verse 16. It says with him is strength and wisdom, the deceived and deceiver are he. So so these top bankers, they don't know that they're being deceived. Yahweh Shemeshah is using them, is making them do his will, okay, what he wants to happen, right? Again, another one, Proverbs chapter 21 verse 1, the king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua, as the rivers of water, he turneth whatsoever he will. So the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshua right now is working, and he's using them to to do whatever they're doing, right? So when that World War III is happening, they don't know that Yahushua is gonna return in the midst of it. We know that as a prophets, all right, understand prophecies, but they don't know that. So when Yahushua comes back in the midst of them fighting World War III, that's what the scripture says. And when you go to the book of 2 Ezra chapter 13, they're gonna come at peace by themselves, with their Esau and the other nations who's fighting World War III. So you're gonna have, like, I'll give an example. You're gonna have Europe, America, over there in so-called Middle East, fighting against Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, fighting against each other, right? Yahushua is gonna take in the midst of it, okay? And then you're gonna have these, also the enemies of America, and even the allies are gonna say miso upon America. In the midst of all that, Yahushua is gonna return it, and that's when they're gonna look at each other and become at peace with one another and trying to fight against Yahushua. That's in the book of 2 Ezra chapter 13. And that's when Yahushua is gonna basically give them a right hand. All right, take them over, and that's when Yahushua is gonna become the King of Kings. You see, that's what that's what's gonna happen. So, but the top bankers, they don't know that. Like, you be hearing the apostle say, the top bankers, they're listening, they trying to pay attention to what's gonna happen eventually, and they're doing that. But on top of that, within their it's like within their own head, they're being deceived, or they're being hard. What is Mosai is hardening their hearts, like Yahweh Hashem did with Pharaoh, to where they're not gonna believe it. What we say, they believe it. Next minute they don't believe it. They think that they got power, but they don't. They're being checkmated, man. All right, and that's what's gonna happen eventually. So this man being taken out, that's a good thing. Okay, because now it's like, okay, let's see what happens next. Because that was the same nigga that was talking about peace and safety, peace and safety, peace and safety, trying to bring peace, and now he's dead. You see? So who's gonna come in next? You know what he's gonna speak about. He's gonna carry the same message of peace and safety. Okay, he might be worse than him in terms of deceiving people, but which is it's even more cooler for us, man. All right. So let's go from there and go to the book of Job. Let me see. Job chapter 4 and verse 7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish be innocent, or where the righteous cut off. So him being there right now, people mourning about him because they thought he was a man of God, but he's not. The man was working on the left hand. Okay, that's Esau. Okay, yeah, he got put to death. Yeah, how about Shimshai took him out? So he's not bending somewhere in hell. No, he's resting in spirit. Let's go to the book of Job as well. I'm still in the book of Job. Let's go see what Job said. He complained. Okay, and he mentioned the top man. Everybody when they die, where they go to, right? And that's where this the Pope is at. You know, but judgment, judgment is coming for him. Let's go to the book of Job. This is the book of Job, chapter 3, and verse let me start. Verse 10. No, yeah, verse 10 says, maybe not. Okay, verse 8. So this is, Job complaining about him, being born where he wanted to be at. Job chapter 3, verse 8. Let them curse. Let me start from verse we might have to go to the top of it, man. Shit. Let's start from verse 1. After this opened Job his mouth and cursed this day. And Job spake and said, let the dead perish wherein I was born, the night in which it was said, there is a man child conceived. Let that there be darkness. Let no God regard it from above. Neither let the light shine upon it. Let darkness and shadow of death stain it. Let a cloud dwell upon it. Let the blackness of the day terrify it. Then, so Job was going through it, catching hell, and then, he didn't want to be on the earth, man. As of that night, let darkness seize upon it. Let not be drawn unto the days of the year. Let it not come into the number of the months. Damn. He didn't want his death to be numbered, man. Not to be remembered, right? Lo, let that not be solitary. Let no joy voice come the ring. Let them curse it that curse the day, who are ready to raise up their mourning sackcloth. Let the stars of twilight thereof be dark. Let it look for light, but have none. Neither let it see the dawning of the day, because it shut not up the doors of my mother's womb. No, he is sorrow for mine eyes. Why die I know from the womb? Then he said, why didn't I die from the womb? Why did not I give up the ghost when I came out of the belly? He didn't want to be alive, man. Why did the knees prevent me? Or why the breast that I should suck it? Why? Or why the breast that I should suck? For now I should have lay still and been quiet. I should have slept, then had I been at rest. Because he understood when you passed away, you are at rest. He wanted to be a bone still, when you're born, You don't come out, you die or whatever. I forget the word. Is born, stillborn, or there's a name to it. So that's what Job wanted. And he understood that if that had happened for him, he would have been arrested. So the Pope is arrested right now. You're gonna have a Christian that are gonna open up their mouth. He's dead. Oh, what's the fucking word, man? He's dead. That was the devil. That was the deceiver. The Antichrist is out. Yeah, you gotta have Christians say that, but they don't know the Pope is alive. He's asleep. He's at rest. He's gonna come back anyway. All right. And it says, with kings and the counselors of the earth, which built desolate places for themselves. Right. The kings of the earth is talking about the top bankers. They do die and go back where? To the heaven. And they'll be at rest. And what did they build over here? Places that are going to be desolated. Okay? Or with the princes that had gold. An example of that, you look the princes of over there in Arab nations, Ishmael, they got gold, man. Who filled their houses with silver? That's these nations. Oh, as in hidden, ultimately birth, I had no being as infinites which never saw light. And then when you read that in the AM pictures, or like a miscarriage which is hidden and put away, I would not exist. Like infinites who never saw light, and that's born still or stillborn, something like that. It said verse 17. Second. Did the wicked cease from troubling? Did the wicked cease from troubling? So the Pope right now, this demon here, okay, this fucking what do you call it? What's the word they use to this? I don't want to say it, but the P, the P-E, the P, PD, them PD people, man. The pedo, he was one of them. So he's a wicked. It says did the wicked cease from troubling? So he's over there. He's the wicked. He ceased from troubling. Why is that? He's at rest. And there they will be at rest. Yeah, the ones who trouble all that, they're at rest right now. There the prisoners rest together. They hear not the voice of the oppressor. So nobody's going to be able to oppress that nigga no more. He's at rest. No, because when this Khan was going to certain countries, they were oppressing him. You fucking, pedo, you do this and this, not, who's being oppressed? And it goes on, a few people that will be oppressed, they on the earth that die. You go to certain countries, they know who you are, they know the truth about you, they oppress you. So this guy here was being oppressed as well. You can go and look, videos for yourself, like the Queen Elizabeth. She was being oppressed, man. But the nation that, her forefathers took over and killed people, she was being oppressed. So when she was taken away, she was at rest. You see? It says, and Marie verse 18, did the prisoner rest together? They hear not the voice of the oppressor. The small, right? Now it's going into ranking. The small and great are there. So you have, regular people that die from here. Then you have, rank people, the top bankers that die or rich in these puppets that die, right? They're all over there. Ain't no differential, man. It don't matter how big you are over here. When you die, you're going to be arrested with the same person, a homeless person that was here, crackhead. They're going to be in the same place with you, okay? The small and great are there. And the servant is free from his master. So the servants, which, basically that's going to Israelites. They're being free from these demons, these fucking Esau and all that. They're free. They no longer have to report to the master, you see? So him being passed away, okay, he's at rest, but guess what? His time is coming. Okay, because when you go, there's I forget what our priest is, when Yahushua comes back the second time, the dead is gonna be risen up. It's it might be in the book of John, the 5th chapter. I could be wrong, but all the dead are gonna be risen up because everybody have to receive their judgment again. Okay. Let me see one of the precepts I'm familiar with. Is Revelation chapter 20. Let me try this right here. Right, it's the book of John, chapter 5 to 25. Very, very I say unto you, the hour is coming, and now is, when the dead shall hear the voice of the Son of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, the that hear shall live. So eventually, that's going to happen. Okay. Because you do have the elect who passed away, who died, or whatever you want to call it. They're going to hear our voice. They're going to be risen up. Okay. They're going to be, be brought back to where they were meant to be at. Then you're going to have the dead who died being wicked. They're going to receive their judgment. And eventually, they're going to receive, the judgment they're supposed to receive. Let's see, there's another one in the book of Revelation. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 12. And I saw the dead, small and great. See, I saw the dead, and small and great, stand before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You see that? Okay. Those spirits are not dead. Your body's gone, by your spirit is still alive. You're going to stand before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And the books were open. And another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books. So the ones who passed away, you're going to be judged from the things that were written in the books. So the Pope, we know he's Edomite, right? We know what he did here on earth. Some people, they might say we conspiracy theory, but we are not conspiracy theory. It's proven eventually, like the scripture says, the things that were hidden eventually is going to be brought to light. So we know that man was not right, because why is that? Because he never told the truth of the Bible. And we know this, these top dudes within the industry, they know the truth. He never came out and said the Israelites are so-called black, so-called black people, Native Americans, Latin tribes. He never said Yahweh was so-called black man and Yahweh was so-called black man. He never came out and said that. He started to push that whole religious of Esau, okay? So he's the wicked. That's Esau. He's Esau. Okay, so I saw the dead, small and great, going to the ranking of them, stand before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Even our own people, they're going to stand before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Jake, Esau, and his heathens, they're going to stand before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of the things which were written in the books according to their works. Verse 13. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it, and death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they will judge every man according to their works. So everybody's going to be judged at the end of the day. So, this man here is no, he's resting for now, but guess what? His judgment day is coming. Because eventually, when you go into the prophecy, let me see if I remember the precept is in the book of let me see. Got it. Right, it's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24, verse 22. They shall be gathered together as a prison are gathered in the pit, and they shall and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. And he's talking about this elite. All right. Let's go from there. It says, let me see, there's another one right there. Isaiah 20:19. They shall go into the holes of the rocks, in the caves of the earth, for the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, for their glory and his majesty, when he's risen to shake, tear up the earth. And that's what these kings are gonna do. Okay, these elite top bankers, right? They're gonna try to go hide away. And that's in the book of let's go to the book of Amos right here real quick. Amos chapter 9 and verse 2. Though they dig into hell, thence shall mine hand take them. Though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down. Okay? And though they hide themselves in the top of a camel, I will search and take them out of thence. And though they hide from the side, from my side in the bottom of the sea, thence will I command a serpent, and he shall bite them. And that's going to the Leviathan. And though they go into captivity before their enemies, thence will I command the sword, and shall slay them, and I'll set mine eyes upon them for evil and not for good. So they're not going to be able to escape, man. Let's go to the book of Revelation. Is it Revelation? Let's go. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. For that I have set in thine heart, I was ascend into heaven, I exalt my throne above the stars of heaven, the stars of God. Right, this is what Esau have done, right? Okay, he exalted himself, okay, through his satellites, even, where he sits right now, he think he's God, right? I will sit also upon the mountain of the congregation, and even right now, is he has put himself in a seat where he think is where he made his hidden think that he is Israelite, but he's not, right? Because he says, I will sit also up on the mountain of the congregation. You go, in America, he took over the southern tribe, northern tribe. All right. He made himself be the Israelites. All right, by putting those small heart into the high category, to where the small hearts right now control America. Okay, and America has to, bow down to those, Gararots, right? I'll see also upon the mountain of the congregation, because when those Edomites went to America, they took over who? The Israelites. In the sides of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I'll be like the Most High. Look where Esau sits right now. He's, satellites. It's up there. He controls everything. He got drones that can see what you're doing. Like they have a system of you on share right now. Like you can't escape IBTs no more. They're looking over you. Cameras looking over you. Over there in China. He started in China now. Esau got the head of that program. And now he's boasting. Did I see the shall now look upon thee and consider thee and say, is this the man that made the earth to tremble and thee shake the kingdoms? Which is going to be you, Esau. You see? Jeremiah 49:16, that terrible have deceived thee in the pride of thine heart, in the pride of thine, heart, or that the woods and the cliffs of the rocks, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I bring thee down from thence, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that's what Yahweh Ba'ashem is going to do. Jeremiah 51:53, though Babylon should mount up to heaven, and though she should fortify the height of her strength, yet from me shall spoilers come upon her, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Eventually, that's what's going to happen to America. Obadiah 1:4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. You see? So Esau is losing right now, man. Okay? He's going through it. Okay, his top fucking puppets are dying. So he's losing. All right? Luke 10:18. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. And that's what's going on right now. Okay, Esau is falling down quickly, man. His kingdom is falling down quickly. And that's why you see, his top man puppets that he has used to deceive the earth are going, are going right now. Yahweh Shemshah is calling back right now. Okay? Meaning like Yahweh Shemshah, like, hey, he's ready. Okay, he's getting ready to bring down his fucking society, man. So this devil is gone. Who's going to be next? We shall see. Even among the, these top bankers, families there's individuals, there's members that die that we don't know of. Because, they're trying to keep themselves, secret as, as possible it can be. But they be passing away, man. They're going to come, they're going to be back over here to serve slavery, man. Okay? Yeah, like this right here is crucial, to us brothers that, believe in his truth. But, you gotta remember, man, that nigga was not innocent. He was wicked. The Most High Yahweh Shah took him out. And there's more to come. All we can do right now is pray that he be the last one of the Pope. If he ain't, the next one's gonna come in anyway. He's gonna do the what? He's gonna do the beating of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Okay, he's gonna be a demon. He ain't gonna make shit better. He gonna come in a lot of you niggas out there, peace and safety. But guess what? Destruction is gonna follow after.